I placed a heavy burden on my mind, taxing it to the very extreme as I ever have. The complications with dictating my ideas coupled with not knowing if I am received in the same context as I see it in the perspective playing out on the theater stage of my mind, has itself, its own hurdles. Understand when you see, or even read what I put out, that the primary reason is for me, to help me, learn from myself. Forced to try and find the right words to best describe the image I am hoping to deliver, brings focus to my own thoughts and inadvertently, I get more educated because of that. I use the process of deductive logic to narrow probability to a point that although unproven, can almost be considered a fact. This is because for any idea to be considered as a portion of the logic I use to deduce my opinion, it has to be a fact. It's true, even facts put together in the correct order can inadvertently obscure the truth and point in the opposite direction, so maintain an open mind while I am building my thoughts. Now I will give my final judgment on the coronavirus episode. The full subject here will revolve around this statement: the COVID-19 disease caused by the SARS-2 coronavirus is weak. So weak in fact that it is the most defining attribute that lends to this virus's success. I'll explain. Children seem to be better equipped to handle the virus at its most aggressive state. Not many go into a heightened level of intensive care. There is a reason for that. The elderly, whether they have underlying conditions or not, still have a higher mortality rate. There is a reason for that. Some rare cases of healthy adults with no apparent reason fall ill and expire. There is a reason for that. The data gathered and interpreted shows spread and virility is a strange and fast-moving, highly contagious infection that no matter where on the planet you are you can or will catch it. Even through concrete and steel behind a locked door in Supermax prison where no visitation whatsoever is allowed. It happened. The reason why is this. The coronavirus has capitalized on what we call the R0 number, which is the reproduction rate of a virus. Such as, how many people will one infected person infect? The R0 number of 1 means the virus will continue to spread, albeit slowly. I believe the R0 of this virus is 2.28. This is recognized by WHO. In my opinion, this has been poorly assessed. Believe this when I say I believe COVID-19 will probably be the first ever documented virus of a R0 of 10. This is why it's so successful. This virus is weak. So weak in fact that more than 90% of the people who have contracted it don't even know they got it. They pass it around and the virus propagates on and on, hidden by the ability to not sicken its hosts until targeted victims are present. Some people's genetics, however, are not suited for the virus at any age. You will see a child here and there go down and occasionally a seemingly healthy person. The elderly who pass from this virus under the same reason are looked over, and it's not perplexing to healthcare staff. The children and young adults fare better only because of the newness of their immune systems to be able to quickly adjust. But remember, because the virus is not getting people ill enough to notice is how it's able to defeat detection and further spread. The dynamics on paper are mind-boggling to researchers. It looks like it is doing all kinds of strange things, and hard to nail down exactly what its characteristics are. Think about this. If a person gets a little ill right now, but not deathly ill, do you think they are going to go to the hospital? No. If an infected person feels nothing, will they continue to spread it? How many people can a carrier infect in a time frame, if they aren't ever going to stop moving, and won't get tested? This is how it gets into the deepest reaches of society. They can't count the people that never get tested, and the only people who end up getting counted are the hospitalized or overly concerned, and this makes case count, which then is used to determine mortality rates. It is in my most humble opinion, that COVID-19 has an R0 of 10, or higher due to the facts that I've described here. It is a very weak virus, in comparison to the public as a whole, and a very vast portion of society has already contracted it and are over it by now. Most didn't even know it. If what I'm saying is true, we will see very soon a case number fall off to zero like a light switch has been turned off as long as mandatory testing isn't enacted. In that case the case count number will seem to skyrocket. Otherwise it won't be till later when they can test after the pandemic, a large group who say they weren't infected, only to find out they had been. Be prepared to be amazed if you haven't thought about this scenario, or read mine. It won't surprise me one bit, because using deductive logic, with facts only, this looks like a plain old natural event. Its curve, no stranger than any before it. This is my final word on the subject. Kevin Joel Cunningham.